G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Lately on YouTube there's been a series of videos coming out with the hashtag SHOPMADETOOLS. I believe it was started by John Creasy. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's where it started. There's been quite a few videos and some great videos up there too. I thought I'd do just a quick video of a few of the things I've made over the time. If you've followed my channel for any time, you know there's a shitload more in the cupboard. So anyway, I'm just going to show you a few of these, why I come to make them, who I got inspired by to make them, and yeah, just have a look at them, mate. Bring it a bit closer. First of all, this one here, if Emma from Emma's Bedroom Machine Shop does a tool making competition. It's called TMC, and I entered the TMC 2020, and this was one of the entries I put in, was this 2-inch boring head. This was the most complicated tool I'd ever made, and I was fortunate enough to take out one of the wins. So works very well. 0.02 millimeter divisions. I've still got to make up another screw for there. It's not the best, but overall it was a very steep learning curve, and it works very, very well. Also in that 2020 TMC 2020 video competition, I also made this puller, 2-legged puller. Like the idea, you can lock it in so the legs don't come out. That's a great help. I have used that a few times too. So that was another fun build. I built this new saw on the small Chinese lathe I had. The small import lathe. So I was actually quite impressed with the results I got out of that little lathe, to be honest. This one here is a floating reamer holder. This idea and the plans come from Nigel over at Gday Hobby Machine Shop. There's a lot in this little build. I've probably done it stupidly tight, and I have. There we go. As you can see, it floats, so you can have it done up if you want to do some center drilling or normal drilling. When you go to ream, start in your hole, loosen this off, and the ream will follow the hole. It won't be influenced by any inaccuracy in your tailstock. So, and you do get a much better ream. I should use this more often, but I just keep forgetting I've got it half the time. So that there was another fun build. So go and visit Nigel. I'm sure he's still got the plans available, so you'd have to check Nigel out on that anyway. But no, very, very fun build, and there's quite a bit into it, like quite a bit of work in it, but certainly well worth every minute. I believe it was Rusty Knox who got me inspired to make this shaper tool. I think it was Rusty Knox. Yeah, no, that works very, very well too. Just TIG welded that on, as you can see, pretty wild, rough and ready, but it worked. Produce a square hole for the tool. I've only got a small piece in there, normally takes 1/2 inch. But no, that's certainly a fun tool to make, easy tool. Yeah, still enjoyable. This was another fun project. I picked the plans up off the internet for this. Adjustable parallel, adjustable jack stand, whatever you want to call it. It's got about 10 mil of adjustment on the wedge. The wedge can't come out. It's secured in there. The only problem I've done with this, I made the little dumbbell handle a fraction long, and it does clash on the table when you're doing it up. But apart from that, it works fine. So that was a good build. This was another good one. If you got hands like mine, this should have been left-hand thread too, but it's not. For holding your micrometer, so you can stick your micrometer there. It's like a third hand basically. And if you got hands like mine where you keep dropping stuff, well, this is the answer. And to be honest, I don't use this as much as I bloody should either. But anyway, that's there when I want to use it. Everett from Everett's Workshop made a keyway cutter-free shaper. I made pretty much exactly the same as his the first time round, which was a lot longer, but I was getting a lot of deflection. So I decided to revisit that one and made this one, which is shorter obviously, and you can machine up any size end you want for it. It's just interchangeable end that just unscrews. And you can put a bigger one or a smaller one, whatever you're doing. You just got to make your new end up, which wouldn't be a lot of work. So that's another good fun project. Bit of thread cutting, bit of milling. I put a round hole because I was too lazy to file a square one in. But that was a fun project as well. Two-stage machinist jack. So then you can yes, that's got a good height available. So it does go a fair height when you got it fully wound out. So that was another fun project actually, a bit of milling in that as well. Only one slot, but no one a V on the top, but still. It's nice to use the tools you have. Yeah, that was a fun build. All these builds have been absolutely fun actually. Everyone's probably seen these optical center finders with the crosshair on the end of them. When you look down, it sort of magnifies the crosshair, and you can pick up your, you can pick up over a center punch and pull that out. Drop that one in, give it a whack, and you'll be right on target. I think Winky might have been Winky from Winky's Workshop over in the States. I'm pretty sure he might have inspired this one, possibly. Yeah, I'd have to have a look back through. Yeah. Anyway, the last one I'll show you is that's an AR-40 collet I made. I bought the nut, but I made the Arbor. I was fortunate enough to pick up a set of AR-40 collets, a set of Vertex. So I thought I might as well have a crack at making my own Arbor. So that's what I did. And that is really, really good. That's pretty accurate. So really happy with that one. And fella in town here wanted some stainless steel pipe parted off into sort of 50mm sections, and it was 90mm diameter, but it was nowhere near round and had a weld seam down it, and I was sort of length 2 foot long, and I didn't have a bell end to stick in the, like a pipe center to stick in the tailstock. And Curtis from Category Engineering was always using his. He built a chuck for the tailstock, a live chuck for the tailstock. So I this was in a big hurry. one afternoon, because the fellow was sort of waiting on the bits, whether I could actually do it or not, or whether I had to just find another way of cutting them. But it turned out I couldn't do it in the end because the pipe was out around. It was shit. Ran the lathe at the slowest I could run it, and it still wouldn't, just chatted and interrupted cut because it was that far out around. But anyway, I ended up with a tailstock chuck out of it. So as you can see, it was a rush job. Never got a seal or anything in it. The inside, in this end here, there is a bung that has an O-ring that no swarf can go in to the bearing on this end. But obviously it can get in on this end because I never had a seal. I couldn't get a seal. Yeah. One of them times, you know, just no time to do it, just have a crack at it and make something up in a hurry, and if it works, well, good and well. If it doesn't, we'll revisit that one later on. So yeah, that was a that'll come in handy. It's just an old worn out chuck that I had laying around off the very first lathe I ever owned, the Mars Hercules. It's not accurate by any stage. It's well worn in the scroll, but that's all I had, and it'll probably always remain on there at this stage. So there you go. But only these, I'm pretty sure every one of these tools, bar this one here, is in on you know, made a video on making these tools. So if you go back through the videos, you will probably find somewhere on there to, yeah, when I made them and watching, you can see how they're made and so on. So there is one more. This is a rotary broach that Tom from Tom Make Here, or formerly Tommy Gun Machining, designed, and Tom was kind enough to donate a prize to the tool making competition. As part of the winnings, Tom threw in a set of plans for the rotary broach. These are available from Tom, so I'll give Tom a little plug here. They're available from Tom, the plans, or I do believe he is making the whole thing and you can buy the unit off him. Tom was also kind enough to grind me up some broaches. I sent some high-speed steel over to him and he ground the broaches up for me. And this thing works absolutely bloody awesome. The other rotary broaches I've seen are a lot more bigger, cumbersome, but this here, there is a little bit in buildment. It is a bloody fun build, but it's a great tool. Like, it is an awesome tool. So check out Tommy over at Tom Make Here. If I knew how to put links to videos in my videos, I'd do it, but I don't know how to do it. I've still got to learn that. So anyway, that's another tool I made, which was a lot of fun and a bloody handy one to have. So there we go, guys. This is just a small snippet of tools that I've made along the way. I do use these. I use the rotary, the boring head a lot. This is always getting used. I use these jacks a lot. I've used this numerous times. This here is handy. Like, I use that more times than you don't. Like, you don't normally see it being used on camera, but it's always in the bench in the background with a micrometer in it. A lot of the times when I remember I've got it. But my hand's fat, short, and this is really, really handy. They are handy. This here is handy too. Like, instead of, if you've got something short in, low in the on the mill table, this is a great size that you can just sort of tap up underneath it, or I've set it up on a couple of parallels, and used it, where these are too tall. Very, very handy. And they're easy to make. Cost you bugger all to make it. And they're fun. So anyway, that's my little contribution to the hashtag ShopMadeTools series. I hope you enjoy that. If you've got any questions about any of these tools, or if you see other tools I've made, you want to know anything about them, please leave a comment, get in touch with me, and I'm quite happy to tell you how to make it, or how I made it anyway, which is probably not the correct way a lot of the times to do stuff, but I get away with it. Anyway, there we go. Thanks very much, and hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you on the next video.